Hello, all. Welcome to the Power BI session. I can see few new participants joined today. Let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Sindhu Pathapati, and I'll be your trainer for this program. So, coming to my technical expertise, I come with a background in business intelligence and data analytics, and I have been working extensively with Power BI, SQL, and all related tools for the past 10 plus years. So in this program, I'll cover all the Power BI concepts along with SQL, like wherever necessary. So this was like a quick introduction about me. So if you want to know in detail, I would request you to please go to the website and just see like all the skills which I'm having and what was the course structure. So how many sessions we have. So everything was already discussed and available in our website. So what is our today's agenda is so today I'll be covering firstly a quick recap like what we have discussed yesterday. So about Power BI, what is Power BI and why we need Power BI. And I'll covering the topics on its use cases and benefits and architecture, and we'll be creating our first dashboard, like simple first dashboard. And by end of the session, like the topics which I have covered today and yesterday, I'll share you some interview questions like what you can expect on the Power BI basics. So this is our today's agenda. Moving ahead, just a moment. Well, uh, so hope we are clear with yesterday's concept. Just for the recap for the new joiners and also just a recap for the already existing students. So basically, how the data analytics comes into picture, like how the data has evolved, what is data. So these are like a few concepts I would request you to understand before moving to the business intelligence and Power BI. So to answer that, what is data? So data is nothing but a raw information we will collect uh, every day from different sources. And it was merely a kind of a raw facts, figures, or observations we collect from different points. So that it can be termed as a data. So how the data has evaluated? Now today I'll just giving a recap. I just don't want to go in deep again today because it will be a little boring for already existing attendees. So, like a quick recap, since we started with a kind of a manual entry in the past, but due to its disadvantages, kind of manual mistakes being happening and the growing of the data, so we moved to Excel and then to database, and then coming the era of Power BI. Okay, so with the manual entry, we move to Excel. Just to maintain this large volume of data to do the graphical representations, the filtering, everything is easy in the Excel. But with the growing of data, so that is not meeting our requirements and the needs, right? So if you're working on a millions and trillions of data, of course that would be hanging up and the performance is very slow. So with these disadvantages, with the availability of the databases, we shifted to databases. So kind of with the help of one and two lines of code, we are able to create and deliver the output. Like for example, if you want to filter something, if you want to analyze the data, so all this can be done with the lines of code. But here we have the technical dependency, like the person who is analyzing and the person who is trying to understand the data, they needs to have the technical expertise in place when you are working on the database side. So to just to eliminate that and to make that process much more easy, we have a platform for business intelligence. So then comes the concept of Power BI. So something like it was like a business intelligence tool developed by the Microsoft organization. So basically, it is like a self-service platform. Like here, we will collect the data, analyze the data, like between the past observations and the current trends, like that, and we will. It helps us to take that strategic decisions. So this is like how we need data analytics, how the business intelligence helps us to do our work. So this was the basic background you need to understand how the data has evaluated and how and why we are performing the data analysis. So moving ahead with the same concepts like why Power BI and what is Power BI. So as I have told you, this was like a business intelligence platform developed by the Microsoft. So it helps us to analyze historic and current data and present findings in visual formats basically. So here we will not be working some kind of an Excel or a manual sheet. So the end user won't be touching anything like this. Here we will just present everything in the visual presentation. So with simple easy clicks and with simple interactions, the end user would be able to understand the data, analyze the data so that he or she can take decisions to boost up their business. So that is the main motive behind the Power BI platform. So as I have told you, it was like an analytics platform that helps you to turn data into actionable insights. So how we'll be working on the, Power BI is something like, for example, there should be some data point, right? From where we'll be collecting the data. So I can say in mainly three steps, we'll be doing all this process. So the main three steps would be something like data collection, analysis, and visualization. So we collect the data, analyze the data. So based on that, we will create rich visualizations with the help of Power BI dashboard, and we will share it to the end users. So you may have a thought like, okay, this is very helpful. It would be, helps us to decrease the manual efforts and everything. So what is the concept before the BI? Basically, before BI, as I have told you in the data evaluation side, we moved from manual entry to the business intelligence platform. So just think yourself, like for example, if you're having an organization or in case if you're working on in any team in an organization as an employee, so you might be holding millions or trillions of data. So to analyze them in a manual way, is it be easy? Of course no. So to eliminate that efforts and to company, to save the efforts to the companies, then comes the concept of BI, like for example, all this manual analysis is automated with the help of BI tools. So that was the core concept behind the Power BI, like how it is being useful for the end users. So basically, with the help of Power BI, we are able to evaluate the data, analyze the data, and we will do some transformations and create interactive data visualizations. Okay, the reports and dashboards has developed. So our next step would be something like we need to share it to the users, right? Excuse me. So those interactive dashboards, what we'll be creating with the help of Power BI platform. So we will be able to share those reports or the dashboards and the apps to multiple users or the multiple organizations or different stakeholders in a very seamless way with the help of Power BI platforms. So this was like a little introduction, like what and how it is being useful in the real time world. So to help you connect those dots, like how the functional way would be. So this would be something like a data from where we are pulling the data from any one of the data sets. It might be Excel, SQL database, or Oracle, or it may be anything. So we have that integration across multiple platforms. So we don't have any limitations under the Power BI platform. So we will be able to connect any one of the data and data set. Data set is nothing but kind of a data source from where we will be pulling the data. So we'll be doing that, and in the middle layer, we'll be applying some transformations, some DAX queries. So all these concepts will be covered in the future sessions, like how we will analyze the data and transform the data. And we will create the reports and the dashboards with with the raw data or the transformed data, which we'll be pulling from different sources. And once the development work was done, we need to have a platform to publish to do the data refresh everything. Then the concept of workspaces comes in. Basically, it helps us to provide one space where we can just maintain our dashboards, refresh our data, everything. And if in case we want to show any live snapshot, for example, data would be dynamic, right? So if you want to show something, if you want to just provide a quick glance like what is happening on the behind of the report, so the tiles will come into picture. So this is a simple functional flow, like how we'll be working on data sets, creation of the reports, and the workspaces. To do this process, we need to have few platforms in place, right? So in Power BI, we are having multiple platforms. So these are like three widely used platforms across organizations or the individuals. So the first one being the Power BI desktop. So as the name itself says, it was a desktop application. So here in the desktop application, it basically what we do is like it was like a tool we will go and download and install in your system for free. We don't need to pay anything. It was like a free software or the free tool. So it helps us to design the reports and the dashboard in a seamless way. So basically, it is like a designer tool where it helps us to create our reports and the dashboards. Okay. So as I have told you, with this platform, we'll be able to create the reports on the dashboard. We need to have some certain platform to publish it to the users, right? So then the concept of Power BI service comes in. So Power BI service is nothing but like a online SaaS service. So it is like a web-based platform, like from where we can share our reports, which were already developed on the Power BI desktop. So it helps us to collaborate with other users, and we are able to create dashboards also on the Power BI service. So basically, to publish it to other users and to have that collaboration, and to have that cloud sync, this will be acting as a service for the desktop application. Okay. So with this, okay, with the help of Power BI service, we will able to create, share the dashboards to multiple users or the organizations, and will be sync with the stakeholders, kind of like that. So to have that feasibility, and to access it anywhere at any time, we can go for the Power BI mobile. So it runs on iOS, Android, and Windows applications. Basically, it would be a mobile application. Like the reports what we have developed, we can just adjust it to the mobile layout, and those can be accessible to accessible to anyone at any time to the mobile layout option. So these are like a few widely used options, widely used platforms across the Power BI. So moving ahead, I just want to give you a quick comparison, like what was the purpose and who uses it, and what are the key features involved in different platforms. So as I have told you in the before slide, Power BI Desktop, it helps us to build reports. So basically, it helps us, for the individual users who are designing the report, this would be very helpful. So to publish that, to collaborate the reports and dashboards across multiple users. So for the different, if you want to share it to different teams, then the concept of service comes in. So it helps us to publish reports, to schedule the data refresh, and for the sharing and collaboration, this platform would be useful. So as I have just told you, when the concept if you want to access the reports or the dashboards at any time, anywhere, then we will go for the Power BI mobile. And coming to report server and embed, it would be like a on-premise platform, the report server. So in the main concept behind report server is like when you're a bit concerned about the security of the data which you are showcasing in the report. So it acts as an extra layer to our data. So then the platform of report server comes in. Basically, it used by organizations who do not want to publish their reports on the cloud and are concerned about the security of the data. So it is an on-premise BI platform. So when you're working on the APIs, and if you want to integrate offers APIs to embed visuals, then the concept of embed will come. Here it helps us to embed Power BI reports in apps, Azure based or pay as you go. So basically, the more advantage is for the developers. Like when you are thinking and looking forward to integrate into apps, then we can go and use a Power BI embed platform. So this was like a quick glance and recap, which I just want to share you before moving ahead. I think for the newcomers also, it will be like a quick overview, like what we have discussed yesterday. So these are like a functional and the main platforms and the comparisons which the Power BI is holding on. So to move ahead in real time, like how it is helping us, how it is being used. For example, it won't be restricted to one domain. For example, if we're working on different domains, it might be sales, it might be finance, HR, or different departments or different domains. How it is useful basically. So just first understand that. Let us understand that, because if you understand the functional flow, like what was the advantage we are getting from the Power BI, we can just get the requirements. I mean, may not be the practical requirements. For example, I'll tell you the real-time requirements by end of this slide. Like how can we proactively create Power BI dashboard just to, showcase your profile in the current project maybe, and also we can just create few and just share it across organization. Everything I'll be discussed by end of the slide. So in case if you're working on sales and marketing side, so you'll be basically what happens on behind is like everything will be tracked daily. Okay. So in case you are a sales manager, let us assume ourselves like sales managers. So what we do, of course, we'll be tracking every time. So what were the top selling products, which reason is holding the high sales, which was going behind. So which product is having the low sales. So all this will be tracked. Okay. So before BI, how the people usually do is like they usually maintain in the manual books or kind of Excels, and they go and analyze it with the help of filters. So it was going like that. But with the help of Power BI, what was being done is like we are able to track of performance, trends, and customer behavior, everything with the help of Power BI dashboards. So once you create a dashboard for the already existing data, we can just simply interact with the multiple visualizations. So all this will be discussed in detail in the future sessions, but the main intention behind using Power BI and the sales and marketing is like to track the products and the region sales, whatever it may be. That would be very easy with the help of Power BI platforms. So basically, we can just analyze the trends and performance dashboards and can take strategic decisions. So similarly, if you're working on a finance domain, so what will be our main target? We will just, forecast the budget and the real-time budget. So everything will be done on quarter, and also according to the financial year, we will be having some budget in hand. So according to that, we will move forward, and we will be coming and checking our expense reports and profit margins on every quarter. If you see, the leadership will be having meetings now in a while, like they just want to analyze how we are moving forward, like is it green or red, like how the company is going forward. So everything will be analyzed now and then in the quarterly meetings, like that. Okay, in those meetings, will it be easy and feasible for the top management or the CEO of the company to go and see the Excel or to go on to the database? Of course no, right? So in those cases also, to have the flexibility for the top management without the technical dependency, right? So these Power BI dashboards helps us to budget, forecast, and to cost control everything with the help of analyzing. So once we analyze the data, like how much we are spending, how much we are getting the profit, then we can take the decisions according to the trend, right? So basically here, this like in finance domain also, we can do all these purposes with the help of Power BI. Similarly, in the HR domain also, as I'm telling you, with respect to other domains. So let us assume you as a HR manager. You want to understand like how many people are coming on time. So how many people are being absent? How many people are leaving the organization? How many newcomers are coming in? So would it be easy to come and see the dashboard, database every time? Of course, HR won't have the technical knowledge. They work on the process improvements and the process requirements. Their main goal would be like to have that employee friendly environments and to have that analytics in place so that organization shouldn't get affected with the attrition rates and everything. So to have that proactive analyzations and to have that monitor on the employees, so these dashboards will help even HR managers, like with the help of simple interactions. For example, in an organization we'll be having different projects, different departments, right? So with the help of just slices and the filters, we can just go and select any one of the departments and can see the data in a very seamless way. So in similar to with other domains also like supply chain, healthcare, education and IT. So coming to supply chain as operations like that, here we mostly involved with the logistic and inventories, right? So if you want to understand the how the warehouse is going on, like orders are fulfilling at time, I mean, at correct times or not. So all the data which was already available in the dashboard, we can just simply go and analyze the data, and based on that, we can just call directly to the. I mean, we were able to provide that correct first spark details also with the help of dashboards. So all the information would be available on the dashboard. So the end user who are using it, they can just directly call or message everything with the help of one glance. And similar to healthcare, education, and IT domain. So as I'm telling you, with the advantages in the other domains here, for example, if we are owning a hospital, or in case we are working as an administrator in the hospital or an education field or an IT sector. So if you want to understand like how many patients has come and how many are leaving, what was the doctor availability, and in case of education, for example, how many or for the performance of the students, like how many has achieved I mean full to full marks, like how many students has failed, like how many departments we have, what was the count in each department. So everything would be feasible. Basically, we will connect to one data source and pull the data, and we'll be applying, for example, uh, irrespective to I mean respective to the domain, we'll be having certain requirements. So based on that, we will create our dashboards. Like manually, what we are doing daily, we will create those in a visualizations with the help of dashboard. So rather than coming and doing it daily, the daily work, we here with the help of Power BI, we can just give it a glance and understand what was the real-time data. Since we have the data refresh options available with the help of Power BI service in the Power BI, so automatically the data would be refreshed and live and dynamic data will be pushed to the dashboards. And every morning we can just, or every morning or anytime where you need, and whenever you need, we can just come and see what was the performance of the students or performance of the hospital. I mean, how many, what for the doctor availability, like what for the patient's movement, like that. And coming to IT domain, so in case, just a real time example. So some people will be working on operations project, some people will be working on a development project, whatever it may be. So we'll be working on the servers, right? So if you want to understand, in case, so with the availability of the data in the database, we'll be taking as a SQL as a data source, and we will be creating a dashboard. And usually, if you see whatever the intermittent issues or some network drops or the temporary issues will come up. So just to want to highlight that in the dashboards, for example, manager won't be available in all the three shifts, right? So if he or she want to understand what was the availability of the platform yesterday, so when he or she comes up in the morning and want to see the health of the platform yesterday or the night shift, something like that. So this server up times or what was the drop down in the yesterday in the platform. So with simple one report, they were able to understand and analyze the yesterday's health. I mean, yesterday's platform health with a simple clicks. So just imagine. I think you are getting my point. For example, uh, in the case like we don't have any BI platforms, so what we usually do, we as a manager come up every day, I mean in the morning and see like, okay, do we have any alerts or do we have any failures? And we will just go to our environments and see like, okay, this has failed and why this has failed. We will do all this root cause analysis and everything. So to avoid this manual work, to avoid this manual effort, what we do is like we will be creating a dashboard so that the top management or the managers of the company, whoever it may be, they'll just come and see the dashboards and understand the teams. I mean, team platform, like for example, platform health, all the server health status, everything they can just understand with a simple glance on the report side. So that was the main motive, like how it is eliminating the human effort and helps us to ease that, for example, understand all the data in a simpler manner. So these are like a few advantages, like how it is helping us in different domains, and what are the use cases and examples of it. Okay, so moving forward, okay, as I'm telling you, these are like use cases in different domains. So for example, it is not limited to any one or few domains. In every domain we have that scope to work on Power BI dashboards. So what was the benefits with the Power BI? So the benefits of the Power BI, as I'm telling in the previous session also, so integration with Microsoft tools. So as you can see, most of the companies, like even it is a small, medium level or the large organization, we work with Excel, Azure Teams and everything, right? So that integration between the different tools would be very easy. So we are able to connect the data and sync the data between multiple tools with the help. I mean, since we are coming from the same platform, same organization, we have that integration feasibility with the help of Power BI. And coming to ease and use with the other benefits, for example, uh, you can just identify and observe in the future classes like how easily we can create the visuals, how easily we can create that interactive dashboards and the reports with simple drag and drop visuals. Like we can just go and click on it and drag and drop in our works, I mean report space. So no coding required at this point of time, because how much you want to do the transformations, at what level you are using the SQL, like at what level you want to do that analysis and transformation, it depends upon the coding. So here I'll say like, do you have the dashboards in place, no coding is required, but to have that cross connections and analyzations on a broader level, we will be working on the excuse me, DAX queries and everything, where a little coding would be required, but that would be very easy. Coming to the real-time updates like that, okay, you have already created the dashboards and you are able to see the data, but that shouldn't be the vast data, right? Every day when you're seeing, the data should be live and data should be refreshed automatically. So with the help of Power BI service, we are able to refresh the data on a scheduled basis and also on an automatical basis. So we have that real-time data flowing into our dashboards at any time. For example, the same example what I have told you before regarding to the domain and the use cases. So, for example, if you are coming in the morning and looking at the dashboards, like how are the health of the servers and the health check across the platform. So, if you want only for the two refresh a day, so you can just schedule that. Okay, so at this time the data refresh should happen. So most of the companies, so night shifts kind of would be something like a supportive and stretchable work for the organizations. So most of the updates will happen on Monday, I mean morning to evening. And if you're working with a different client from a different country and we have a different time zone, we'll be stretching ourselves to work on night shifts also. So according to the data, at what time it is flowing on, so we can just schedule the data refresh accordingly. Okay, so this was like a, we will be receiving that real-time data updates with the help of Power BI dashboards. And as I'm telling you, like we are able to just drag and drop the visuals, filter, drill down, like drill through. All these functionalities is very easy and interactive with the help of Power BI. And with the diverse platforms it is holding, we have that feasibility to access our reports or dashboards at anywhere at any time with the help of mobile layouts. So to have that extra layer of security and governance, we have few key features available in the Power BI like row level security, role based access. So in practical, in a simpler manner, non-technical way, if you want to understand, for example, like what is low level security or role based access, so you might be working on it. For example, let us assume we both working on one organization, and you are working on, and you will, I mean, I'm belongs to HR department, and you may be working, you may be into IT department, and we have a common dashboard. So what was the, the data holding on the whole organization level. So of course, I don't need the IT department data. In case if I see also that was not relatable to me, I will just avoid that. And coming to IT department, they are not much concerned about the HR data. So what they see is like how the platform is, how the data is going on, and everything. And also the data related to the stakeholder would be sensitive. So we need to have that extra layer of security in place. So to handle that, according to the access we give to the users on a database level like that, we can restrict the user to see only required data. Okay, for example, if you're having 10 rows, 5 may be related to IT, 5 may be related to HR. The HR person should see only those HR 5 records only. And IT person should be able to see only those IT 5 records only. So we can restrict that user access also on the platform side. I mean, on the Power BI side. Then the concept of low level security or the role based access will come into place. Okay, hope it is clear. And according to the main other thing is like how much we'll be spending on the Power BI, and will it be useful for the individuals only or only to the organizations like that. So we don't have that limitation. It will be suitable for individuals to enterprises actually. So if you're working like a developer on a design tool, Power BI Desktop is suffice. So we don't need to pay anything. It is for free. But if you want to explore more advanced features, like to collaborate with other users with the help of Power BI service like that, we need to have some licenses in place. For that, we need to pay something, which I have already discussed with you yesterday, like how much the market rates are currently. But as I have told you, the with the diverse features which we are having and the amount we are paying, it is like quite reasonable. So these are like a few Power BI benefits which are in place already in the platform side. So this was like, do you have any questions up to now? So before moving forward, let me just cross check. Do you have any questions? Okay. So these are like few use cases and benefits in the real time world. So here the architecture, like how the Power BI architecture has designed. It was like a very simple architecture. I don't want to confuse you at this point of time. We can have a deeper level and deeper analysis of architecture in future sessions. So here, for example, if you see all the terms which I have already discussed in today's session, yesterday's session only, I have placed here in the architecture so that it would be very easily understandable to you actually. So our first point would be something like we'll be connecting to any one of the data source. So data source is nothing but a data point where we will go and collect the data, the raw data basically. So, okay, just think in this way, in a functional way basically. Then we can just help us, and I mean, we may have a mutual understanding like the technical parts and everything. Okay, our endpoint would be something like Power BI dashboard, right? So to do that, we need to have some data in place. So from where we'll be able to pull the data? From one location. So that location or the point would be termed as data source. Okay. So in Power BI, we have that feasibility to connect to hundreds and hundreds of data sources. So we don't have any limitation here. For example, we will be able to connect SQL, we are able to connect to SharePoint, Hadoop. So you name it, we have that feasibility and connectivity across different data sources. Okay, we will go and connect with the data source and we will be able to import the data here. And from here, so we'll once the connection was successfully established, we'll move forward for the designing of the reports or the dashboards. So with the help of Power BI Desktop, we'll be creating a reports or the dashboard. Since it is a designer tool, as I have told you before, it is for free. We will go on and install that, and we will do some transformations and create a reports on the dashboards. Okay, so the pulling of the data is done, and in between we will do some transformations and everything. And the report development was also done with the help of Power BI Desktop. So now what we need to do, we need to publish it to the end user. So to do that, we have already having, I mean, we have some platforms are already available. So as you can just recollect, we have already discussed about Power BI service and the gateways. So those concepts comes in picture as a middle layer between the Power BI Desktop and the end user. So with the help of Power BI service, we can just publish our reports, and we are able to share those reports to the other users, and we are able to get the dashboards also with the help of Power BI service. So something like we'll be able to pulling the data from data source, create the dashboard here, and publish our dashboard to the Power BI service. So to have that extra layer in place. So if you can see, as the diagram itself is very much understandable. So the gateway helps us to connect through secure networks. So it provides that other layer of security to our reports, what was being published to the end user. So with the help of this middle layer, with the help of services and the gateways, we'll be able to publish the reports and collaborate with other users. So according to our need. In case if the end user is working on the field teams and they just want to have that access at anywhere and anytime, then we will go for the mobile layout. So the Power BI mobile concept will comes here in this place. So I hope this is clear to you. So basically to tell you in a simpler manner, our design steps and our Power BI flow stuff would be something like data sources and desktop services and gateways, and then to the mobile layout option. So something like, let me reiterate. We'll just connect to the data point or the data source. Uh, Collect the data, the raw data basically. I mean to say, we'll be able to pull the data to our dashboard. We will do the analysis, I mean, do the transformations, and we will be able to create the reports or the dashboards on the desktop level. And with the help of services and the gateways, with that extra layer of security and able to publish the reports to the end users or collaborate with other teams, we'll be using the Power BI service and the gateway platforms and to access it to the user. So we can go for the Power BI mobile like that. So this was like a simple architecture which was behind the Power BI platform. Okay. Actually, I have a plan to show you the demo today, like what was the first dashboard. Let me just show. I think we are already 7:50 IST, so I'll show you a simple demo today. So in detail, I'll show you what are all the different types we can just explore and everything. But today I just don't want to skip the first dashboard because that would be a little exciting for me and to you as well. So let me show you a simple first dashboard. So this was, if you can see, this was like a Power BI desktop which was already installed in my machine. So in future sessions, our next sessions, you can expect something like I will help you to install the Power BI desktop and how can we load the data. So all these I'll be giving you like a kind of a homework so that you can just work and we can have a quick one-on-one interactions as well if you have any doubts like that. So as I'm telling you so many times, the Power BI desktop like that. So this is the desktop basically. So this was like a designer tool where we will go and pull the data, create our visualizations here. So if you can see, we have already built in so many visualizations in place. See, these were like a different charts, which helps us to analyze the data and show it in a very interactive way. And if you can see here, as I'm telling you, we have wide range of data connectivity across the platform. So if you see, we have these many data sources already available. We can just connect to any one of the data sources and import our data to the, I mean, desktop. And if you can see, like we have the option to create a text boxes, more visuals, everything. So all the modeling concepts. And if you can see, we're already having some built-in themes available. For example, these all can, I mean, can add up to already built-in dashboards so that it would be very much attractive and appealing to the end user. And we have an option to customize our themes as well. If you want to have your specific theme, like for example, every organization will follow some default themes and they will be having some default structure. So with the available ones, we can just customize them and also we can go for new themes as well. And if you can see pause visuals, refresh visuals, so everything almost the necessity of the requirements will be meeting with the Power BI inbuilt options only. But if you want to explore within like an as a new feather, we can have that option with outsides as well. I mean, we can just import any of our visuals from the outside, and we can just append here in the dashboards like that. So with the simple data, let me just take an Excel example today. Maybe take something like this. Here is my, just a moment. Yeah, let me take the sales data. So this was like a very simple file actually. Here, kind of a sales, as I have told you here, let me help you to correlate what I'm trying to tell you. So if you see here, sales and marketing. So this was like a simple dashboard which I'm creating for the sales and marketing. Yeah, okay. So from here, so here I have given like what was the region and what was the product we are selling at in which month and how many sales we have done for the product. So it was like a very simple data which I have just imported. Like let me load this, and if you can see when I hit on the cloud, so it is creating a model, and we have that rows already, I mean columns available already in our data model here. So in case if you want to understand what how many sales we have done, for example, what were the total sales, kind of like that. So this was like a KPI card. So this KPI card is nothing but if you want to highlight the value, like this kind of how many sales we have done or what was the top region, like that. It was like a quick glance and a quick interaction visual. So if you want to understand how many sales we have done irrespective of the month or product or region, this was like a total sales. So if you want to understand like what's the top selling product, so something like this, we can just drag and drop here. So as I have told you, let me just correlate with the theoretical way. If you see, as I have told you, the drag and drop visuals, no coding is required, right? So with a simple analysis, if you want to go for simple analysis and for the basic steps, we don't need to go and create any queries like that. So in case if you want to do this in Excel or the database, we can't go in this way, right? We need to at least write a one line of code. But with the help of Power BI, only we will import the data with the help of data source, and we can just easily go, I mean, click and drop the visuals like what we want. So here, if you want to understand what was the top most selling product, so for example, I just need the top one. I don't need all that other information. So maybe something like this. And I just want to show that product information only. So something like this. And see, for example, let me just undo. So this was in a tabular format when I'm just going and selecting the column values. But I just want to show it to the end user, like what was the top most selling product. So with the help of easy one click, with the help of KPI card, I'm able to show you this was the top product. And similarly, if you want to show like what was the top region, I mean it respected to sales. So similarly here, I just need the top one. Of course, everyone is interested on the top and the low ones, right? If you want to do the analysis, you can just go with the all the detailed data actually. So if you want to show it only like a glance, just a moment. Okay. So I just want to show that region actually. So let me put it in a KPI card level. So see how much easily we can able to create visuals. And also, as I'm telling you, with the help of OBS service, we are able to do the data refresh, right? So once you create the visuals, we are not able, I mean, no need to come again and again and do the modifications or editings according to the dynamic data, like the data that is flowing and daily to the databases and ETLs just like that. So all these are connected on the background. So with the available data and the dynamicity it is having, these data will be in dynamic in nature. So for example, today the tablet is the topmost selling product and this is the topmost selling region. So the sales may change, right? So today it is the data is behaving in this way, but tomorrow the west may be the top region. So the we have the dynamicity in nature. Of course, the dashboards and the KPIs would be reflecting the same data. So when we have the schedule or the automated options of data refresh available in the Power BI service, so we automatically this data will also get refreshed. So this is the use and the capability of the Power BI, like how we can use it in daily basis. So as I'm telling you before, and the top management or the manager of the company or the sales manager or whoever it may be, if you want to understand the data, then just come and see like, okay, what was the top sales with a simple glance, right? They don't need a technical dependency, they don't need a technical expertise to analyze the data like that. They just need one user interface where they can just go and see the URL and understand the data. That's it. So I'll take the another quick visual also, like how we can analyze the trend. For example, sales, maybe the product. So if you can see, the default would be on the tabular level actually. Let me just expand this. So how many sales we have for each product. Okay. And if you want to understand it, the trend, like how it is going on, see, with the help of different visualizations, we will to understand it in a very easy way. For example, see, this tablet is holding this much, mobile is holding this much. So if you just mouse over on the bar, we are able to see the detailed information here, what was the product and how many sales we are doing. And similarly, if you want to understand the share, like how much we are holding, maybe let me go with the pie chart. So in total 100%, which product is holding the highest market share? For example, if you see what was the top one, so 20.34. So camera is the top one actually. So we can just able to understand the top one and the lowest one with the help of, since I'm using the pie chart here, this was the representation. Similarly, we have so many visualizations already available and built in the Power BI. So according to our requirement and the need, we will go for different ones. Okay. This was like a simple KPI cards and a simple graphical representations I have shown you. So in detail, I'll show you on Monday, like with the simple data, how can we create different visualizations. So this was like a simple introduction, what I want to show you today. Okay, and I'll touch upon like how themes will change overall look of the dashboard, and how can we just customize. Everything will be discussed in the next session. So the main motto to show the simpler dashboard today is like, with the Excel and the database, it will take some time for to analyze and understand the data. But with the help of Power BI, we will just come and give it a glance, like what was the I mean, according to our requirements, we'll place the KPIs so that we'll just come and understand it just in a minute actually. So no technical dependency is needed. So this was the main advantages of the Power BI. Okay. Hope it is clear. Do you have any questions right now? Okay. So actually, this first dashboard, I have shown you a quick glance, but in detail with the same data, I'll show you like how much rich visualizations we are able to create with the help of simple data. So that would be one of the topics for the next sessions. And moving forward, as I have told you, like every session may include one subject to test or few interview questions like that. So based on yesterday's and today's session, I would like to give you a glance like what you can expect the basic interview questions when you're going for interview, or in case if you want to boost your career growth in the same organization also, if you want to just cross join into another teams like that, if you put Power BI as a technical skill in your profile, of course we'll be having the project interviews as well. So to help you to understand, like not like a few interview questions at end of the program, I just want to help you to understand according to the concepts and the sessions we had intermediately. Also, I'll be sharing some interview questions. So for example, based on yesterday's and today's session, these are like few interview questions you can expect on these topics. So basically anyone, in case if you're on the fresher level like that, they'll ask you like basically what is Power BI, how it is useful, and why you are using it. So you can expect something like, for example, you are attending an interview, you say like okay, I mean, you have already placed Power BI as a technical skill, and you might have kept it as like a fresher level with 1 or 2 years of experience. Then they'll come and ask you something like, okay, it's good like you're working on the Power BI. So why you are using Power BI in your project and why not any other tool? So then we should be capable enough and confident enough to help them to understand according to the project requirement. First, you need to dig down to the project requirement and the budget and everything, and then you can explain. So based on the features it is having and the project requirement which I'm holding, this is like a suitable platform. That's why I'm using the Power BI. You can just cover all the concept. I mean, of course, the interviewer would not be interested to listen 10 to 15 minutes of demo, but the key concepts you can highlight. For example, integration to different data sources. It's easy to, I mean, easy to use. So these key features you can just highlight. Okay. And coming to the second one, like what was the file extension used to save Power BI reports? So I remember I discussed this in the yesterday's session. Can someone of you please answer?
Yeah, .pbix.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, PBIX file is the extension for the Power BI reports. This was like a common questions if you can hear in the fresher level. And coming to desktop on the service, we can just differentiate like what are the concepts we have already gone through. So when we will go for the desktop and we will go for the service. And coming to the architecture level also, like in case of fresher to medium level also, this question will comes up. Like what was the architecture on of Power BI, like that to tell, I mean, they'll ask you to tell the flow. What was the first point and what would be the end point? So you can just explain about the architecture. And one more simple question you may get is like, in case you want to access a Power BI report on your phone, so which component you would use or which platform you would use? So what was the platform? Can somebody answer me? In case if you want to access a Power BI report on your phone, so which platform we would use? Maybe let me just show you. Okay, maybe it would be not a direct answer from here, but you can understand. So by the end product, if you want to access your report in the mobile, so what would be our platform? Let me help you to understand. Mm, Anything you get from here? It might be correct or wrong, but that's okay. Let's be an interactive session. Can someone please answer with the available
Okay,
options from here?
for the mobile.
Yes, yeah. So these are like a few questions you can expect from Power BI Basics. Okay. I hope I'm clear. If you have any doubts or want to have any feedbacks, just feel free to let me know. Gayatri, I have just seen your message. Yes, we need to try practically. Yes, Gayatri. Yeah, we need to try practically actually. So once you understand the core concepts like how we are using and what we are using, so as I have shown you today, the basic dashboard design. So with the same data set, I'll show you in the next future session on Monday. So something like how can we build the visualizations. So I'll share you the same data set to you so that you can take it and the PBX file also what I'll be designing on Monday, so that you can take it as a reference and you can try it on your own. In case you want to have to at least 1 or 2 visuals in the same session, we can take that leverage also so that we can just work on hand on hand. Yes. Do you have any question, guys?
Yeah, Sindhu, Shubham this side.
Yeah. Hi,
So,
Shubham.
yeah, I have a doubt, like related to the sequel. So, as you have mentioned that you will cover the sequel whenever required. So, like,
Yeah.
I just like want to like how much depth of the sequel will also covered in the training, like it's in the initial or in the last. So,
Actually, I designed in the last module, Shubham. If you can just see the course structure also on the website. So basically on 7 and 8 modules, Just a moment. Yeah. In the 7 and 8 modules, I'll be covering all those topics like how can we use SQL and what were the capabilities of SQL in the Power BI. So all those topics will be covered by N. Because if I take those SQL topics now, this Power BI will be little diverted. So that's why I'm not taking those topics at this point of time. But in case in like medium levels of modules also if needed I'll cover, but my action plan is like to cover it in the 7 and 8 modules actually.
Okay, okay. So actually, many of the recruiters like they also expect SQL in depth because they're expecting that. So in last, we have to like take the SQL, not in the initial level. We need to do the
Hmm.
SQL things in last.
Yes, actually here I'll give you scenarios and broadcasting like how much it would be required for Power BI. But if you want to understand in a more deeper level, I would suggest you to take to the another SQL course. I mean, from start to end, I mean to say. But I feel like with SQL topics, which I'll be covering in the next sessions, it would be easy to understand only because Power BI won't completely depend on SQL, Shubham. So we can just go through the topics, and also if you just put a self-learning, also that would be suffice.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming to your question, Gayatri, can you repeat which platform to use? Yeah, to see it in mobile, that would be Power BI mobile platform, Gayatri. Let me just showcase you if you can see here, we have different platforms, right? If you want to see the report on the mobile, we will be using Power BI mobile platform. So that is the answer for that question. Yeah, coming to session slow, yes, we have some feedback yesterday, right? I was a little fast in explaining. So that's why I'm just going a little slow, just to meet everyone needs. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, do you have any questions, guys? Okay, hope we are good. Okay, then. Yeah. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.